Hi, my name is Dr. Felicia, and I'm a licensed psychologist. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how spiritually abusive people and environments use fear to control others. So I'm sure that as you learn more about spiritual abuse or even reflect on your own experience, that you recognize that fear has played a really big role in that experience. And I'm going to break down why fear is a weapon of choice in these types of environments and with these types of people. The first thing I want you to realize is that spirituality in and of itself is an abstract concept, right? If we think about spirituality, you can't define it in concrete ways. You can define what spirituality is, but there aren't any concrete measures really to accurately assess how spiritual somebody is. And so, if somebody is in a spiritually abusive environment, the abstract nature of spirituality in and of itself can make fear an easy way to control people, right? And the reason is people can make up all these standards and all these rules that have nothing to do with spirituality itself as a proxy for measuring that and therefore and thereby controlling people. So, sometimes people who have been in spiritually abusive environments will talk about really strange rules that the leaders in the environment had that they felt really had nothing to do with spirituality. But when people did not follow these rules and there was this fear that something really bad was going to happen to them or they were labeled in a certain way. And so keep in mind that the abstract nature of spirituality can make fear an easy way to control people. Another reason why fear is used often is because of what is known as the halo effect. And so the halo effect basically means if you believe or if you see one good thing about somebody, you assume they have other good and positive characteristics. And we tend to assume the best about leaders, right? And we tend to, and especially in spiritual environments, and we tend to think that they have all these qualities that they actually might not have because they're spiritual and they're in a leadership position. And so that makes it easier to control people, especially using fear-based techniques because it can be happening to you, but then you think, well, this person is a nice person or they're a spiritual leader. Why would they try to make me be afraid of them? But that's exactly what they're doing. And you're less likely to notice it or call it out or believe what you see because of this inbuilt halo effect. So that's also something to keep in mind. Another very specific way that spiritually abusive environments and people use fear is that they make and break people. And I'm sure a lot of you can identify with this. And I've heard multiple stories about this, is that the leader will sort of have somebody or, have like appoint somebody to kind of be like the right hand woman or man, right? And then once this person steps out of line, they ruin their lives. And it is one of those things that people who are around in that environment can see that. And it makes them afraid because they think, wow, if it could happen to this person who was high up there, what's going to happen to me? And so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in this video, but you will, hear stories about how certain people are built up and then broken down. And that causes everyone to really feel afraid and feel like they have to watch themselves all the time so it doesn't happen to them. Another way in which fear can be used to control people is just how information is shared, right? And so many of you have told me this in the comment section about how you've been in a spiritually abusive environment and information about you that you asked to be kept private or that should have been kept private is known by other people, right? It could be the pastor kind of trying to shame you or say something bad about you in the pulpit, but not necessarily using your name, but that they're talking about you, or other people will mention something that you never shared with them. And sometimes this is done deliberately because if you think about it, if you know that anything you say could be shared with someone else without your consent, you're going to be on guard, right? And you're not going to really feel like you can be open and share things. And also you're also going to be very careful about how you do things, maybe what you say, how you associate with people, things like that. And so when people are in that position, they are afraid of that leader and they're afraid of that environment. It's just another way of the abusive person and system saying, I own you, so watch your back. Okay. And so in general, all of these techniques that I've talked about, they cause fear. And when we are afraid, we don't act rationally, right? Fear destabilizes us. So we might not make the best decisions because we're trying to protect ourselves. And that's exactly how spiritual abuse can be perpetrated, and how spiritually abusive people and environments control people, because people are not their genuine selves. They're just reacting out of fear, and they're really trying to protect themselves instead of being bold and honest. So I hope that information helps you. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section about this as well. So drop a comment. And if you'd like to book a consultation with me, you can go to my website, skillsetcounseling.com, and click on the orange button. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day that's filled with peace. Bye-bye.